Hello, hello. Today we are making our little angel dish towels. I got a request for these because we have previously done the little bunnies for party favors where you can stick a little hand lotion or a hand sanitizer inside. We did the little teddy bears that you can do as a little party favor if you're having a baby boy or a baby girl, or if you want to take these to the hospital. But these ones came as a special request to see if I can do one so that they can be given to cancer patients. So I think that's a wonderful idea. Making these from Dollar Tree or even a Walmart dish towel or a washcloth would only cost about $1.50 a piece to make. The reason they're so cheap is a lot of the supplies can be bought from Dollar Tree and you're buying them in bulk, so you can make more than one because of the items that we're going to be using. So of course you're going to be using a dish towel. Now, this little teddy bear was made with Dollar Tree washcloths, okay? They come in a 2-pack, 2 for $1. So if you can find the white ones, that's fine. But if you can't find them and you want to go to Walmart or another store for them, you can usually buy them in bulk. And I found these at Family Dollar. They were 8-pack for $3. The reason I picked this bunch was because it had 2 white ones and it has the gray ones, and I'm actually going to be doing the washcloth elephant soon that you can do as a party favor as well. 2 of the white ones, and that's what we're going to be using today. You also need rubber bands from Dollar Tree. You're going to need cotton balls, or you're going to need this poly filler. This filler is sold at most craft stores. I got this when I went to Joanna Fabric. They had a coupon for 60% off. So I think I paid $2 for this whole bag, and they're normally $4.99. So make sure you always look for a coupon when you're buying anything at any craft store and buy it in bulk. If you're going to use a cotton ball, which you can from Dollar Tree, all you have to do is take the cotton ball apart like this. And the reason you're doing that is because when we fill the head, you need to be able to sew through it, and otherwise it's not going to work right. And you're going to need the little pipe cleaners. I bought these now. They're in the Halloween section. They are like the goldy orange. I thought they were really pretty for the halo, but if you want to look for gold somewhere, you probably can find them with the holidays coming. You're going to need pantyhose. So if you have any pantyhose with runs in them or something, don't throw them away. Use them for these little dolls. These are only $1 a pack. You can make several dolls out of one pack. So this was my little hint that I gave when I said, what am I making next? You're going to need beads, and I used two little beads for the eyes, and I used a little pearl for the nose. So that's what you can see that I made the little nose with. You're going to need some ribbon to tie around the waist and to tie at the neck like I have here. You're going to need hair. Now this bag of hair, I was lucky I got it on clearance for like $3.67 for this whole bag. But should you choose to maybe just use embroidery thread, which you can, or you can even use yarn, you would just pick a bigger needle and you would just sew this into the head and just pull the yarn apart, and it might make a real cute little furry hairdo on it. So I would suggest doing that if you can't find any hair, or you can do embroidery thread, and all you would have to do is sew it through and tie it, sew it through and tie it. A little time consuming, but you could do it. So there's other options for you to do if you want to do your hair. Then you're going to need a Q-tip, and what I did was I used some blush of mine. It's a powder, and I just dabbed my Q-tip in there, and I put my 2 little cheeks on there. You're going to need a needle, and you're going to need some thread. And when you pick out your rubber bands, which we use for all of our animals, this one I like the best because it comes with several different sizes. I wish I'd had these before when I was working on the other ones, because they have the smaller ones, which are perfect for this, and then they have the larger ones that you can wrap around the neck. So this is the bag of rubber bands I would highly suggest. So the other thing that we're going to use is these glue dots, if you have hair like this, because that's how I put it on. I just put the glue dot on the top of the head, and I put the hair on, and can you believe it? It actually just held it in place with no problems. So these are pretty easy to put together. You don't really need a whole lot to work with, and let's get started. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your washcloth, and you're going to be shocked at how easy this is to make. And what you're going to do is, you know how you make those accordion fans out of paper? You're just going to start folding this like an accordion, okay? And you go back and forth until you're done. Okay, and then you're going to take one of your rubber bands. Got one more to do. Okay, so you're like this with your accordion without your thread in there. Okay, And then what you're going to do is you're going to put a rubber band about a little bit more than, not half, but you know what I mean, like the top part here. You want more to be at the bottom, so that's part of the dress that she's wearing. And you're going to put your rubber band on here. Okay. Okay. So now you have your rubber band. Try to fix it so it's all lined up so that you don't see too much of it. And then all you're going to do is you're going to take 2 rubber bands and you're going to put them on like that. How easy was that to make your wings? If you want your wings bigger, then just come down a little bit more. And look, we already have the body made. Okay? So we're just going to put a rubber band on here. And this is why I'm using the smaller rubber bands. Okay? Because they're perfect for something like this. Okay? So just try to puff it out a little bit. And put that on there. Like that. And now you have the base already done. Okay? Just fix it up a little bit so you have your little pleats there because we just did the accordion, and now we're going to start working on the head and getting the angel all ready. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your pantyhose, and I'm going to use the poly filler on this, but like I said, if you want to use the cotton balls from Dollar Tree, just take it apart like this so that it's like the poly filler. Okay, you probably need about 6 or 7 of them to get a good nice head on it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your pantyhose and you're going to cut a piece off. And be careful when you're working and stuffing because sometimes it gets a run in them. And I got a run near my eye and I was upset because I couldn't fix it, but I put a little glue and you can hardly see it. So you got to be careful when you're stuffing this. And then all you're going to do is you're going to stuff this for your head. Okay, so you just start stuffing it for your head, and when you think you've got enough, okay, you want to really pack it in there good. So let's see how big this head is, because that's a good size, that's a good head that I have on there now. Okay, so this might be a little bit too much. So maybe you wouldn't need, well, it just depends. You got to play with the cotton if you're going to do it that way. Okay, so just pack it in there really good. And now look, we got a pretty good size to work with. Yeah, that's a pretty good size. And then all you're going to do is you're going to twist it. And what I did was, I'm going to tie this off like I did the other one. Okay, tie a knot. And what I did was I tied the back side, so you're going to tie the 2 ends together. Okay, that's all you got to do. And then once you tie this together, you don't really have to do much of anything else. You're just going to bring it over to your angel, and you decide this is going to be your back side. So you see the 2 little rubber bands here? All you're going to do is stick the head, this little tail you have, is going to go into these rubber bands. Okay, so just pick it up. I'll show you 1 second. See, you're just going to put that on there like that. That's all you have to do. So you're using a lot of what we already have. You don't have to glue it or anything. Now, if you decide that you want to glue it, you can. But look, she's already pretty much in place. And when you put your ribbon on there, everything is going to work out and it's going to cover up whatever's right here. Okay, so you just make sure that it's on there nice and tight. And when you tie the ribbon around there, that's also going to secure it more. Okay, so you kind of have to mess with the head a little bit to get it nice and stable. And then when you feel that you're where you want to be, you can trim this off. Okay, I might put it through the other side one more time. And I'm just going to cut that off. Okay, so, oh, I just cut one of my rubber bands there. Gotta put it back in here. Cut the wrong one off. So if you make a mistake, it's no big deal. You can still work around things. If you wanted to, like right now, if I wanted to, I could add a glue dot right here. And I might do that if the head doesn't come down when I'm starting to work with it. So things start to form together as you're working. And just keep playing with this to make it as round as you want, or whatever it is you want to do. So this is actually, yeah, that's my front side. Okay, so now we're there. And what I want to do next is I think I'm going to put my ribbon around her waist. So what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the ribbon around her body. Okay, so you're just taking the ribbon and you're crisscrossing to cover up the rubber band. Okay, so just crisscross. So come back around, come up. See how we're just crisscrossing? And that's why the head not going where we need it to go right now doesn't really matter, because we still need to work with the body, but it's better to have the head on. And then once you're in the back, then you just come back around to the front again. Okay, so see how that's covering up? That's all you have to do. I'm going to cut that right there. And I'm going to use the glue dot to put my ribbon on. Now, if some of you want to crisscross it and put a glue dot on, you could do it that way too. So you have to work with what's comfortable for you. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm doing it, so it's different for me. So everybody's different. I don't want to tell you to do what's best for you. I like to work certain ways myself. So the glue dots work great because people can take them off. Okay, so we have her on, and all I have to do is put another glue dot to get this secure, and we're all set on that part. Then we can put a little bow on the front. So let's bring this to the back. And that's all you have to do to put this ribbon on. Okay? So that's nice and secure. So now she's got that on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the bow around her neck. Now remember what I said about the bow on the neck. You have to start right side up, and then as you're tying it on, you got to flip it the other way so that the tail is down. Otherwise it's going to be in the angel's face, and you don't want that. Okay, so now we got her little neck on, and the tail is down. If we didn't do it that way, then it wouldn't be right. Okay, now however you do your hair, it's going to cover up a lot of the rubber bands and things like that too. Okay, so we just cut that. And we're going to trim this side a little. Okay, so we got that done. Now I'm still going to work on my hair, so I might not even have to put anything because that's the back side, and once I put the hair on it, you're not even going to notice it. So let's get some hair, and I'll show you. So here is the hair. Okay. Okay, so we have our hair all ready, and all I did was pull a bunch of strands off, and I made sure that none of it's like really dangling, although that might be kind of cute in the back. And I'm going to just put this on her head like this, and it's going to cover up the back side. Okay, so that's all that's going to do, and it's going to cover up that back part of the nylon and everything. And all I'm going to use is one of these little glue. Okay, that's all I used on the other one, was one as well. So there is a difference. They have a super durable one, and then they have this one, so you can work with whatever you want to work with. I think I'm going to leave a few little dangly pieces like this on this one. I can decide if I want to change it, and then you're just going to press it down on her head. Okay, so I used a different, they have these really strong, durable ones, those glue tabs, and you're going to have to play around with the head and the hair, because it's not as, that part is the difficult part. I will admit the hair can be a little difficult. So you can decide if you want to use, I'm using more of these than I did last time, because the last one, they have a blue package of the glue, and they're like an extra strong, and then they have this regular one, and the extra strong ones work much better, and they didn't have any today when I went to Dollar Tree. So I'm going to use a few more of these on the hair. Okay. Now, You could also use a glue gun, and I might do that. I have mine turned on if things don't start to work better for us. Wait, let me see here. Which way am I? I am this way. I'm going to cut this little tail off the back after I wrapped her thing. Yeah, see these little glue, I used these ones the last time, but they were a blue package, and they're durable, and these are just a regular glue dot. If you're going to do the hair like I did, you need the blue ones. So there is a difference. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm actually going to use a little hot glue on the top of the head so that we can get the hair on. So I always like to say, while things look easy, I do come across problems of my own when I'm doing different things. So I don't want everybody to think that I never have an issue or I never have a problem. I just work it out. That's all you got to do. Don't give up. That's what I have to say. If something's aggravating you or whatever, get up and walk away and then come back to it. Okay? So now you're all good to go, and we're going to put her little halo on, and then we're going to do her eyes. And she is a little bit... I'm trying to see here how I got her on here. There we go. So there's her little angel wings. So you kind of just got to play with things as you're going. These could be frontwards, these could be backwards. We could turn her head to be this way, so she seems to be a little bit more stable that way, so I can change the bow around, and that's what I think I'm going to do. Just turn this bow around with her and everything. So you can see it's not that it's... you can play with things and you can change things around as you're going. It's not written in stone any way you have to do it. Okay, so now she seems a little bit more durable, and like I said, we can put a little hot glue right here to keep her neck down, and we're going to put the hot glue on the bow itself so that if somebody wanted to use the dish towel, they still could. And if you're giving these away as gifts and you want them to keep the dish towel like as an angel, then of course you would hot glue more than use anything else as far as the strips or anything go. Okay? So that's that way. And it doesn't look like it's coming together, but I promise you it does. You just got to get everything on there, and then it starts to work out just the way you planned. Okay? And you got to make sure that things are drying as you're doing it. Okay? So by the time we add her little halo, and we add her eyes and her face, she's going to be really cute when we're done. Okay? So we just got a few more things to add, and she will be all done. So let's add her halo. And you got to decide how big you want. Now this head is a little bit bigger than this head. Okay? So I'm going to make the halo a little bit bigger on this one. And all you do is you take your pipe cleaner and you just make a circle. Decide how big you want your halo to be. Okay? So that's all you have to do there. And again, I just stick this into the rubber band on the back. Okay, now again, if you want to use this for someone to keep, then of course you would get a more secure way to do it. Okay, but otherwise we're just going to stick it in the back side of this rubber band right here. Okay. So just lift up that rubber band and slide this in there. And I know some of you say, well, I can't see what you're doing, but you don't really need to see what I'm doing. Just pick up the rubber band and put it back there. And then turn her halo to be forward. Okay? So make sure you give yourself enough room so that you can stick this in the rubber band. Okay? So don't cut your pipe cleaner too small where you can't get that done. Okay, so she's a little, and I went through the same thing when I made the other one, so what I'm going through now is nothing unusual. You just got to figure out how to make it all work. And she's fragile, you know, she's really fragile to work with. So you got to give yourself the patience. But for this video, I just wanted to show you guys how to make them, and then you guys can take over. Okay, so her hair is really kind of long here. So let's get this. So look how cute it looks in the back with the curly hair. and the curly hair is going to cover up the back end of the halo. So we're just trying to get this halo to show a little bit better. So I just want this to come down. I want that to be like that. So there we go. Well, she's got a crooked halo, but there we go. Okay, so now all that's left, and then when you want to put her arms out like this, you can do that, but you don't want to add anything inside the arms. You know, you can puff them out like this because of the fold, but you don't want to put any wire or anything in here because then they're not soft and cuddly, okay? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to sew on the eyes, and watch what a difference it makes when you sew the eyes and we put a little face on her. Okay, so we have our needle and thread, and what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have enough thread so that I can do the eyes and the nose all at one time. So just make sure that you give yourself enough so that you don't have to keep rethreading it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your dowel and you're going to take your needle, and this first pull through is going to be a small one. So you see, you're not going to go all the way through. You're just going to do enough to get the bead on. So see how that is? And you got to figure out where your eye is going to be. Because if you're way off, so some of you might say, well, why can't I do the hair last and everything else? Well, again, you can do whatever you want. I like my hair and everything to be on so that I can see that she's level. Because some people say, well, I want to work from the bottom or I want to do the side. You can do whatever you want. I like to work uniform down in a row. That's just the way my mind works. But if you can do things other ways, then I say go ahead and do it. Okay, so I put my little bead on there. Okay, so I have my bead. And you can decide what size bead you're going to use and all of that stuff. I like the little ones because I think they look cute. And then what you're going to do is once you get your bead on there, you're going to come all the way through the back of the hair and everything. Okay, you're going to pull that needle through the whole back of the head. And what that does is it gives it that indentation that you need. Okay, so rather than the eye popping out, watch, you're getting that little indentation. Okay, and then what you do is you go back around through the head and just start sewing it from the back of the head. So pull and start sewing like into, it doesn't matter if the hair is there and everything. Unless you're using embroidery thread, you want to make sure the hair doesn't get into everything. So if you're using embroidery thread, then maybe I would do the eyes first before I use the embroidery thread. But if you're doing it this way, it doesn't matter because you're not going to see it anyway. Okay, so let's pull this through. Okay, so look, it gives it that nice little cute little indentation. And then we're just going to do it a few more times. And I'm not going all the way back to the front of the head. I'm just stitching it through the back of the head like you would sew something. So for those of you that don't sew, this is super easy. You just add your needle and thread, put your little bead on there, and then come back to the back of the head. It is really easy. So for those of you that say you don't sew, this isn't really sewing. This is just almost like putting a button on. Let's put it that way. Okay? So let's finish her off, and then we're going to tie this off. I'm going to tie it in a knot. And then for those of you that don't know, all you have to do is loop it through what you're working on and pull it through to get that. Now, her little halo's coming off while we're doing the hair, so I'm going to take it off, and then I can put it back on in a minute. So these are the things you have to work with. The last one I didn't have to do that, but now it's in my way, so I'm readjusting how I'm working. Okay? And I can put the halo on last again. It doesn't really matter. Okay, now we're going to do the other eye. We're going to do the exact same thing, and see, we have more than enough thread. I'm going to double knot this. I try to explain everything the best that I know how, so that you guys all understand. I know that a lot of you say you do, so I'm happy with that. So the next eye, we're going to put it just a little bit over. And again, we're just going through the front just to get the eyeball started. That's all we're doing. We're just doing it enough so that it has enough material to grab the front, and we can get this little bead on there to pull it through the back. Okay, so the first one you don't pull through, and then this one, once it's on there, okay, so the bead is on again, and now this one we're going to take all the way to the back of the head. Okay, there's the needle, and again we're going to get that cute little indentation that we're looking for. My hair is getting tangled this time. Okay, so let's pull that. So now look, we got the cute little eyes going. See how cute her eyes look? And again, we're just going to pull it tight as we sew this tighter in the back. So you're just going to try and feel your way around. You don't have to go all the way to the front. You just want to put the needle into the head and pull. And then you want to put the needle into the head and pull. That's all you need to do to get the eye on. Okay? So there, see, we have the two little eyes on. So now we're going to get ready to tie this off. And because we're using white thread, you can't even see it in her hair. Okay. Okay, and not only that, it kind of helps keep this curly hair on too, because we did put some glue on, but see, now her little eyes are on. And we can fix her hair, okay, because it's curly. See her little curly hair? Okay, and now we have one little pearl bead that we're going to use for her nose. Okay, so again, look, we have more than enough to finish off what we need to do. We're again going to double knot this so that it goes into the nylon nice, and you're going to do the exact same thing for the nose. And that's all you have to do to make these. So I hope that this one's a little bit more difficult. Okay, so now again, we're just pulling it through. Enough to get this started. Okay, see? That's all you have to do. You just want to get it started so that you can get your bead on there. And then you go to the back of the head to tie it on there. Okay? So now there's her nose. Her nose is on. And now we're going all the way to the back of the head again. Okay, and we're going to pull it out this end. And you're going to pull tight so that you get your little indentation in there. Okay, I don't like the way this is turning out because you got to watch where your little knot is coming out in the front, and you got to make sure when you pull it that it's behind that. So make sure when you pull your nose that the little white part is trying to go underneath the nose itself. Okay, and I got it. I just got it, thank goodness. Okay, and again, just go to the back of the head and start pulling through. In this video, yes, it's a little longer than most because there's a lot of details to these. The elephant will be really quick. And if you wanted to, you can add a dab of glue so that you can hide the little effect of the thread if you didn't get it under the nose like I didn't this time. I didn't want to have to start all over and have to thread my needle. So see what I mean? So you can still puff up her face too. Okay, so we have the eyes, we have the nose on, and if I want to go this way just a little, I can add a dab of glue right there just to get her nose right. And you can fix the hair and everything after the fact. But I like to do it this way too because, like I said, we glued the hair on, but you also have this thread going through the hair, which is going to help it stay on in more than one place. Okay, so you don't have to worry about your hair falling off. Okay. Okay, so now we got that done. And then when you're all done, you can go back to the front and you can poof up the face and stuff however you want, because you can play with this poly foam however you want. Okay? So, she's good there. Her head goes this way. I turned her around. Okay, so there she is. She's all done. And now we're going to put a little bit of the blush on the cheeks like I showed you. So you just take, and this is a powder blush. Okay? And I'm just going to take a little bit, see, on the end of the Q-tip, and I'm just going to put it on the nylon. Okay, so we put her little cheeks on, and now we're going to add her little halo back. There's her little halo, and the back is pretty. It covers everything up. I'm going to add a little bit more glue, I think, to her neck so that she's not falling over. So this is something you have to decide when you're working on it. And if you get the glue on the ribbon part, the washcloth is still going to be good. Okay? So that's all you have to do. And we're going to fix her ribbon here. Okay. And let's put her halo back on. So this one is a little bit more difficult, but if you do it step by step, you will get it. Okay, you saw that I had a little bit of problems here and there, but look how cute she came out. Isn't she cute? She's just as cute as our other one. So, like, while it seemed like it wasn't coming together, how quickly did she come together? She came together really fast. So, that is how you make the little washcloth angels. And we will be doing, and see, this is, I had the same problem the last time. There we go. Her little halo's cute now. So we got that all done. Here is the other one. Okay, the two are together. They're very similar, and all you have to do is the little bead, which I would do a little bit larger, and that is how you make your little angel washcloths. Okay, so until the next one, we will see you soon. Bye now.